Hey guys, what's up? It's Frank here from Altcoin Buzz. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever in the world you find yourself. So this week we have a couple of cryptocurrencies we're going to talk about. One of them, very new, has been supported by Vitalik himself, the creator of Ethereum. But before we have a look at those two, let's have a brief overview of the top cryptocurrencies. ADA really standing out from the crowd here, 29.3% growth over the past 7 days. And in fact, now most altcoins are showing some growth, some signs of a potential relief rally over the past 7 days. So it's quite an exciting time to be looking at the markets. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies which are at a crux point, which are contracting in a zone which will be determining how the price will be moving over the coming weeks. So now is a very important time to be looking at the market. So the two cryptocurrencies which we are going to cover today, the first one which has been supported by Vitalik is of course Optimism. We'll just have a very brief look at that. It's only been trading a few days, but as you can see, it's already one of the trending coins. And the second one we will be looking at is Decentraland MANA. Decentraland MANA, of course, is in the top 100 cryptocurrencies. You can see it here in 46th place. So MANA has one very, very interesting indicator on the 3-day time frame. So I will be showing you why now is an important time to be watching the charts, and especially to be watching over the coming 2 days and 18 hours from the time of recording this video, because within these 3 days something very important will happen here on this indicator, and this will determine the likelihood of a rally starting from here. Now, for those of you who don't know, Altcoin Buzz is first and foremost a crypto investment research company, and we have been providing you numerous 100x returns since 2017. So if you want to get in on that action, join our Altcoin Buzz Access group, where we document up-to-date research covering undervalued altcoin gems, NFT minting opportunities, and our portfolio strategies. So if you want to get part of the action, click the link up above or down in the pinned comment section down below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you don't miss any future updates. And finally, please note that none of this is financial advice. Okay, so starting with Optimism, as I mentioned, you can see here on CoinGecko that Optimism is one of the trending coins, and Optimism currently is only in 161st place. However, we are seeing $232,000 in trading volume, which you can see is significantly more than most of the other altcoins on this second page of CoinGecko. And that's likely because, as we mentioned a couple days ago, Ethereum's founder Vitalik Buterin signaled his support. You can check out this video which we posted on June 4th to get more information about that. But basically, we have been trading for just a few days now, so there's really not much to say about this. We don't have a long-term trend. We are currently in a downtrend on the hourly chart. This can be said of many other cryptocurrencies. We do have this downward sloping trend line. If we break out of that, there's a good chance we'll see some movement up. However, we have likely resistance in this zone around the $1.382 level. And of course, we have a very important support here at the $1.094 level. That's where we had a candle close here, and we have more or less a double bottom just below that if you look at the wicks. So this is an important support zone, and otherwise we are waiting for more price action before we can really make any conclusions about this. Now, when it comes to MANA, of course, we have many months of price data, and what's fascinating about MANA is that despite having retraced 89% since the all-time high, the monthly chart is still in an uptrend. Look, we have a high in April 2021, a couple months later a low, then we had a higher high, and this is no more than a potential higher low. So it just goes to show that although we see big dumps in the crypto space, the pumps are so big that oftentimes the dumps don't even take us below the previous critical support levels, and still enable us to maintain this uptrend. Okay, so let's now go down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we are not seeing too much of interest here, too much of value. Of course, we can see the volume profile, which is showing that right now we are above an important zone, but this is more clearly seen on the daily time frame. So let's go down to the daily here. So as you can see, there's this massive blue and yellow bar, and what this signifies is that in this zone between the 0.6 and the $0.85 level, approximately within this zone, slightly above as well, there has been significant trading activity. As you can see, when I zoom out, the zone actually expands to the $1.05 level. So again, there's been significant trading activity within this zone, and that means that if we stay above this zone, we are likely to find it as support, and similarly, if we go below it, it's likely to act as resistance moving forward. So there's a lot of fighting going on between the bulls and the bears to see who can either find support at this zone or who can use it as resistance. Now, I personally don't think that the bears are going to win on this one. Yes, we are in a downtrend, so technically the trend is still your friend, but I certainly would not be shorting this because I do think that we are overextended, and because we are above, somewhat above this zone, and because we have seen such a massive retracement for MANA, my personal prediction is that we will actually find support here and have a relief rally. Before we go on, let me know down in the comment section below, do you think we will break bullish out of this zone that we are in? In other words, do you think we will break bullish from the $1.14 level, move up and above it, or do you think we will break bearish and continue this 4-hour downtrend and break the $0.9 level? Type down below, bullish or bearish. Okay, so before I show you the supports and resistances, the levels you need to be watching, this is the time frame that you really have to be watching. This is where something critical is happening. Have a look at this. This is the 3-day time frame on MANA USDT. And over here on the MACD, we are seeing a potential bullish crossover. That's when this blue line crosses over the orange line. This is called a bullish MACD crossover. And what's even more significant is that it's happening below the 0 line, because this often signals the end of a downtrend. Now, we did have a fake out over here where we had a crossover, but unfortunately we had a big move down thereafter. However, as you can see, we did have a big oversold signal here on the RSI on the 3-day time frame. And as mentioned, we still have 2.5 days left before this 3-day candle closes. But if this remains green, if the histogram here remains green and we have this crossover, then this definitely could be a sign that we are seeing a relief rally. And of course, another important sign to watch out for is this long diagonal line. Again, we'll go down to the daily time frame to look at that in more detail. You see we had 2 pivot points on this diagonal resistance. So if we break through this diagonal resistance and we see this 3-day crossover, that will be a good sign for the bulls. Okay, so when it comes to support levels, I'm marking the $0.91 level as the major support. We had a double bottom there, and certainly this will be an important support to hold in the short term. In the more medium term, we have the $0.6 level. This level has historical significance because we had a double bottom sort of just above this level, and we had a candle taking us almost all the way down here. So very important that we hold this level. As you can see, it also marks the very bottom of this high volume profile range. So again, very, very important that we hold that. And if we don't hold that, then we will likely see a violent dump down to the $0.3743 level, which marks, of course, a very important previous weekly pivot point. Now, when it comes to the resistances, the initial resistance and the most exciting one is the $1.4 level, $1.41. Now, why is this exciting? As I mentioned, we have this diagonal resistance line, which is showing on the daily time frame. And if I just double click it and then click visibility and hours, then you will see that it also shows on the 4-hour time frame. So as mentioned, this horizontal level, this $1.141 level, not only does it mark previous resistance multiple times that we've struggled to get past it, but it also marks a point at which if we cross it, we will very likely cross this diagonal line as well, and then we will very likely have this 3-day bullish crossover on the MACD, and then thereafter, the next resistance is really not that significant. The next resistance will be rather minor in comparison to this one, because after we break this, as mentioned, we've broken the horizontal resistance, we've broken the diagonal resistance, we've seen a very good sign of a reversal on the MACD. Again, this is all hypothetical for now. So we will likely see a big move up. And of course, then we would see just 20% up to the $1.3653 level. But really, after that, there's a huge liquidity gap. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the price has not spent much time trading above this $1.36 level. There's just been a very violent dump down, and there was a very quick move up from it. So if we have this initial momentum taking us up, we could likely see a very, very important, notable relief rally. And then the next resistance would potentially be the 0.618 retracement of this whole move down, which is the $1.98 level. So as you can see, a very, very big potential move up from there, almost 45%. All right, guys, so that's been it from me for today. Be sure to be watching the charts here on tradingview.com. Be sure to be checking out the 3-day time frame. And also don't forget to check out my previous videos. If you enjoyed this analysis, you can see my previous videos up here. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one.